Like the nuclear bomb itself, like if that, I mean, that is so crazy that they were willing to drop. I mean, this is where a war gets. Yeah. You're willing to drop a bomb on a city, like
two cities.
Yeah, not a military base.
No, and because
which is weird.
Because Nagasaki and Hiroshima, remember, were the industrial cities that were churning out a lot of the war planes, and that was where the center of their war machine was.
Any civilians
and we dropped.
that?
Remember, we dropped pamphlets. We dropped. My uncle
hundreds of thousands.
My great uncle dropped the pamphlets, the warning pamphlets, saying we're gonna fucking.
Drop
you guys
a bomb.
better surrender.
Gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
They gave them pamphlets.
They gave them warnings. That's how crazy nuclear power was. And meanwhile, they had only blown up shit in the desert, and stuff in the ocean before. They really weren't sure what was going to happen.
We didn't know. A lot of scientists didn't know that there was energy trapped in an atom. And when they actually detonated the hydrogen bomb, we were like, wow, all the theorizing about energy in an atom and the fact that atoms is actually true, because that's kind of proof positive when you see a mushroom cloud with that kind of power. You're like, fuck, we just unleashed the horrors of nature.
Which is crazy, because we've been in war ever since. We've had those things ever since, and no one's gotten to the point where that comes out. Yeah. Everybody's like, just keep it on the edges. Come on, bitch.
Is it because we realize how fucking nasty it is?
There's a term for it, mutually assured destruction.
Yep, mad.
Damn, we broke it down to an acronym.
Yeah. Your boy Sam Harris and Jordan Peterson had a really fascinating discussion about, they couldn't really get out of the gates because they couldn't agree on what truth was, but
that was a frustrating discussion.
Very much so. But they had a fascinating idea of, there are certain things that you could know scientifically that none of us should know. And for example, there are scientific truths that if we knew would actually result in our complete extinction.
Like what?
Like, so an example of when we found out if you split an atom, it creates a chain reaction and a powerful force that can vaporize 100,000 or even 1 million people, right? There is potentially scientific knowledge like that could have, for example, reduce everything that you know to dust. And if that's something that's actually something you could know, is it worth knowing? And would it be immoral to know? That's kind of that's where morality and science kind of converge, and where you have an actual conversation about certain things are so devastating, and it would mean the end of your entire existence. So maybe that's a scientific truth, quote unquote, that isn't worth having, even though human beings. Yeah,
but the problem is the universe doesn't give a fuck about that.
Correct.
The reality is, if someone does invent a time machine and they hit that button, we're all fucked. I mean, it really could happen. It really is something that's, within 1,000 years, whatever. You give the exponential increase in technology and power and what's available and what they can do. It could happen, 100%.
That's why it's so important to have those discussions.
That's why, the atomic bomb, there was a real concern that it was going to evaporate the entire atmosphere of the Earth.
Right.
It wasn't everybody. But there was a small group of scientists that go, hold on. You know what else could happen? This. You could kill everybody.
And they were still like, we'll see what happens.
We don't think so.
Well, think about the responsibility for a scientist like that.
Right.
Think about, that idea. How about when they had the first nuclear reactor? Who was it? Who was the Italian guy? The father of the nuclear reactor. And they were at the University of, what was the university where I guess the reactor started overheating.
Oh, Jesus.
And they had, there was a guy with a bucket there who was just going to throw a bunch of water on it. I mean, it was, Federico?
Enrico Fermi.
Yes, Enrico Fermi. There it is.
What a name.
That's what it was. Thank you, buddy. And,
imagine if your name was Enrico Fermi.
At the University of Chicago.
Enrico.
It started to trip out.
I would wear only handmade suits. My name is Enrico Fermi.
Enrico Fermi.
I'd have handmade shoes.
He was,
like loafers with nice socks.
He was a genius. I think he died of radiation poisoning, didn't he? Because he might have ingested it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Poor bitch.
From the time they started the Manhattan Project, how long did it take? Because to actually figure out the atom bomb.
That's also in the documentary. That's in the documentary.
How many years did it take? Because it was a theory for a while. They were trying to figure it out. Man, it was a theory. If we could split the atom and hit critical mass, shit, can you imagine what kind of weapon this would be? Well, so it was they hired a couple thousand scientists. They started the Manhattan Project, started throwing all this money at it, right? And then the final proof was Nagasaki and Hiroshima. That was it. Did we pull this off? and then boom. Oh,
well, they
shit.
had done. They knew already that it worked because they had a bunch of tests before they did that. And one of the most horrific thing about the tests was they would have soldiers run towards the blast because they didn't understand radiation back then, which is so incredible. Like they didn't understand the damage of radiation. There's videos you could watch online. Jamie, pull one up. Where they would blow this atomic bomb up. They'd have a mock town in the distance. They would create these mock cities to see what kind of damage it would do. They'd put up houses and shit, and they'd blow them the fuck up. And they'd have these soldiers run towards the blast. And the idea would be that after the blast went off, it killed whatever people it killed, and everybody else would be stunned, and that's when the soldiers would move in.
Yeah.
So they would fucking run towards the...
Dude,
imagine being one of those soldiers.
It's the funniest video ever.
They're all dead.
Watch it.
They all
died of cancer. Pull that up.
They think that that's what killed John Wayne.
Soldiers running to nuclear explosion.
Yeah.
Punch that in. That's
hilarious.
hilarious.
What I just said.
Watch.
Yeah.
Well, looks like a Planet of the
I think
Apes
fascinating
movie.
is after we dropped that bomb, those bombs on Japan, when Hirohito, the emperor, got on the radio and called for the surrender. One man said, it's time for us to surrender. Every single soldier, one of those Japanese, every one of them willing to die for that cause, they dropped their weapons and they surrendered. It took they were so fanatically devoted to authority, and still in many ways are.
So check this shit out, man. These fucking dudes are sitting there watching that in the distance. I mean, they're that close. And what's crazy is like the wind from the blast comes and hits them. There's a bunch of different videos of this. A lot of these were the U.S. Army would document a lot of their training episodes. And so this is what they would do. They'd see that. That's the blast from the nuclear bomb. Look at that. Damn. These fucking people are standing there in these trenches, and there's a bomb going off in the distance. It's so scary.
Look at this.
They knew so little about what effects it would have on people, and they let these people run towards their death. And these people are all running towards radiation sickness, running towards cancer. They're running towards this fucking mushroom cloud in the desert.
Was there repercussions, like when they got home that night? People did they feel like shit?
There's a bunch of I mean, you'll never get the full fucking story as to what happened and what kind of health problems. But John Wayne died because he was filming these spaghetti westerns in the fucking in the desert in Nevada near these test sites. And a lot of people that were on the crew with him, this might be bullshit, a lot of people on the crew with him got cancer. Look that up.
He got lung cancer from smoking.
No. It was the government, man.
He got lung cancer from smoking, John.
Yeah, he did smoke.
Smoking causes cancer.
You don't think it's radiation?
But I think everybody in the film, there was like something about everybody on the film that worked on that film with him also smoked and also got cancer.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
How long did it take? I mean, how long does when a nuclear bomb goes off, like you just saw a nuclear bomb just went off?
Before you get sick?
How long do you have to wait until you could like populate that area again? Do you
Thousands of years.
Not necessarily because.
But what about how long did it take Hiroshima and Nagasaki?
Well, it's not as bad as like nuclear waste. Nuclear waste is the worst.
It was the atomic bomb.
But Chernobyl,
but it's not waste. It's a different thing.
I'm talking about the bombs. I'm talking about the bombs. You just said 1,000 years it would take for that bomb.
No, it doesn't take that long. People live in Nagasaki now. They live in Hiroshima now.
How long did it take?
But aren't there factories with the nuclear waste? Is
well,
that Japan
there's definitely
plants. Of them?
There's definitely plants that have,
I mean.
Nuclear power plants that have nuclear waste in it. If that stuff gets to like what's going on right now in Fukushima, it's very, very dangerous because they can't do anything about it. And it's getting worse. Like the radiation levels are higher in Fukushima now than when they've been battling this disaster since what, 2012? Something like that, wasn't it?
Chernobyl is a fascinating example of a major nuclear meltdown, and it's thriving with wildlife. Thriving.
Yeah, nuclear wolves.
Yeah.
Shane Smith from Vice filmed a show out there.
Really?
Yeah, they were fucking hunting wolves with AK-47s.
Like mutant wolves?
Mutant wolves that read your mind. They read your mind, bro.
The size of grizzlies.
Don't ever play rock, paper, scissors with them. These motherfuckers know what's coming.
You know, there's people that think that they never figured it out. They never figured out how to make the atom bomb, and they just basically firebombed, just like they did all the other cities.
Those people
in Japan.
are retarded. There's peer-reviewed papers.
But we were in a war. We were in a race with the Nazis to create a bomb.
Yes.
And we knew the Nazis,
like the moon
because
race.
a lot of German scientists came over. Remember, as for example, Einstein is an example.
Am I getting confused here? Are you suggesting that nuclear bombs aren't real?
I don't know. I'm just saying there's people that think
that they
never figured it out.
Those people are retarded. 100%.
Okay, they're retarded.
Dude, Oppenheimer's papers that he wrote on it and the work that he did on it, like that's all. Anybody could read that. Anybody could go into that. It's all documented. What they did, the tests. I mean, there's videos of the explosions. There's videos of them blowing a fucking hole in the ocean. Yeah. That's so insane that they had these boats, these destroyers placed around the water. They didn't pull that up because I forget what the test was, what the nuclear test in the ocean was called.
We used to detonate
but there's
in the
videos of
too.
Bombs going off. You can see it. It's real. The destruction.
How do you know they're
undeniable.
Nuclear, how do you know they're nuclear and not just regular bombs?
Because
you know
the power, the difference in the destruction is insane.
You tell me,
Look at this, Eddie.
Fucking God.
Dude,
holy
you're talking about a mile-high wall of water. They had no idea it was going to do that.
So scary. Imagine if you're a fish.
Joe, they lost this fucking boat. They're like, well, we'll just have this boat sit around here. No big deal. Look at this.
How's this
monitor
end?
We're getting a new monitor. This monitor keeps cutting out. I don't know what's going on.
That's terrifying.
But yeah, dude, it destroys this fucking boat. They thought they could park their destroyer a certain distance away from this nuclear bomb. So they're like, okay, so if we drop a bomb on them, how close can we be? Turns out you can't even be remotely fucking close.
No.
Check this shit how you see it from the sky. Look at this. Watch this. They set up this fucking boat, dude.
Terrifying.
I mean, see, Jamie, what are you doing? You're fast forwarding? See if there's got to be a part where you can see it from distance. Because from distance, it's so fucking insane.
Holy
That's what it looks
shit.
like.
Oh my
That's what it looks like. You're talking like, what is that? 30,000, 40,000 plus feet in the air?
That's so crazy.
That's water.
That's water, bro.
Dude,
What
it's
the
insane.
fuck?
And it's not even water, it's gas. Where the water evaporates.
But a regular bomb can't do that?
No
sir.
fucking way. That is hundreds of thousands of regular bombs.
Christ.
What they can do with these things is insane.
It's crazy. And Nagasaki and Hiroshima are little firecrackers compared to what we have now.
now.
Firecrackers.
Yeah.
Firecrackers.
So it's not a question whether or not nuclear power or nuclear bombs are real. There's nuclear power that's probably the reason why our lights are on right now.
That's right. We use nuclear power as we speak, but
and you know what it does? Make steam.
Yeah. I know. It's very clean. It's very fucking clean.
It gets hot as fuck and it makes steam. As long as it doesn't get out of your little holding pen, it's like you've harnessed a demon and you use that demon to make tea.
That's right.
He's got a kettle.
It's so true. It's so true.
The power that's so unbelievably hot that you constantly keep water in contact with it. It makes steam.
Yeah.
The steams power the turbines. The turbines make electricity.
Look,
but if that
piece of uranium
gets out,
yeah, well, a piece of uranium, I think the size of a pencil, you can look this up, can run a nuclear submarine for 6 months.
Jesus
I mean, you know, it's an incredible.
It's an insane form of energy.
Yeah.
It's a demon, and we're harnessing it in a cement box, and we're putting it right next to the ocean. Drive to San Diego. You ever drive to San Diego and see the nuclear power plant
What
over
happened
there?
to all the nuclear bombs that Russia had?
They still have them.
They have them?
Still have them.
Yeah. That's one of the great things about where we've
some
come.
lost shit, though. There was
So
a
the
lot
Soviets
of lost
figured
material.
out nuclear bombs.
Because the Rosenbergs.
And
Because you know
United
why? Because the
States.
Rosenbergs sold.
No one else figured it out, though?
American.
Did you ever hear that
American spies
story? Tell the story.
So
Yeah.
the Rosenbergs, a husband and a wife, sold nuclear secrets to the Soviets
Fucking
because they were communists
haters.
in this country. And when they sold them, and was it Truman? I think Truman put them to death in the
Yeah,
electric chair.
makes
They both
sense.
were both killed for high treason. But the Soviets
we were the only
got
ones who
those
had it
nuclear
for a
secrets.
while,
Yeah.
and now those motherfuckers sold it to a lot of people.
fucking
How
And
about
remember that a lot of-
Pakistan and India just pointing them at each other.
Remember this too, like as the rise of anti-Semitism in the 30s in Germany, and certain scientists and Jews were getting assassinated, beat up. A lot of the German scientists, because there was a real renaissance in Germany and Austria, a physics renaissance. And along with people like Albert Einstein, they emigrated to the United States because they were like, I don't think they like the Jews over here in Germany. And we benefited from that mass immigration.